Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alster, as I look forward now to day 4 at Royal Ascot, where the sun continues to shine and the ground is much quicker than we've encountered for most of the decent racing that has come our way so far this season. Now, I'm always looking for big-priced horses. So far this Royal Ascot, it hasn't worked out. Another blank day today, I'm afraid, with Son of Man and Takarib Bay both failing to trouble the judge. But when you're picking them at big odds, you only need one of them to hit the target or even run into a place, and you're going to make a lot, if not all, of your money back and then some. So I have two for you on Friday. If you're new to the service, then please press the subscribe button. You'll be able to follow all my tips and selections as we go forward throughout the summer and into what's going to be a really good run. And if you're interested in getting more selections from me at a variety of odds, some of them very, very tasty, and I can tell you that on Friday I've recommended a horse at as big as 80 to 1 out in front. Then you can find the link to join that service in the description box just below this screen. By the way, I saw one or two of the comments from yesterday's video. Some of them were ridiculous. People saying never a winner, never a place, rubbish. We had the 6-1 winner just a couple of weeks ago from, of course, a very limited number of selections, and so on and so forth. And if you look in the description box, you'll see all the profit and loss for the last 4 years. And I think that's a profit and loss most people will be very, very proud of and very happy to have. I also noted one comment as well, where I was pretty angry that they were only betting 4 places in the Britannia Handicap on Thursday. And a correspondent pointed out, quite rightly actually, that it's supposedly because the bookmakers donate money to charity from that race. But listen to me, that money isn't the bookmakers donating it, it's the punters donating it, because if they bet properly 5, 6, 7 or even 8 places, then a lot more people would have got a lot more winnings for their places, including my clients at Out in Front, where the horse I recommended at 25 to 1 back down to 8 to 1 finished 5th, but no payout in a 30-runner handicap. And in other words, it's not the bookmakers that are donating the money, it's the punters that are donating the money, because the bookmakers will be getting much more in the pot because they didn't offer proper terms to the punters. So remember that there's no generosity on the part of the bookmakers in this specific instance anyway. So to my two selections for Friday. Well, Royal Ascot 230, not a handicap. I'm normally looking at handicaps at the big meeting, but this time a stakes race, the Group 3 Albany Stakes. For 2-year-old fillies over 6 furlongs, it's good to firm ground, and there are 17 runners. And once again, Aidan O'Brien has a favourite. He had another great day on Thursday. Particularly Kyprios was terrific in the Gold Cup. And he's got Fairy Godmother here, who's just easing out to 7 to 4 in places now from 6 to 4 earlier in the day. She stepped up from a promising debut second at Naas to land a Group 3 contest over 6 furlongs a few weeks later. She's obviously very talented. California Dreamer for Adrian Murray was only a length back in third that day. She takes her on again, but the fact is she looked as if she ran out of puff, having been a couple of lengths clear at the furlong pole. So I'll be surprised if this even stiffer 6 furlongs is going to suit her, although maybe on the better ground she might have a better chance of seeing it out. O'Brien also runs Heaven's Gate, who similarly finished second on debut before running out a comfortable winner of a 6 furlong maiden at the Curragh last time. And both the Ballydoyle fillies are open to any amount of improvement, but of course with Ryan Moore riding Fairy Godmother, she is clearly the first string, but it's up to you if you want to back at 7 or 4. The market estimates the main danger to be the Charlie Appleby train Mountain Breeze, and I'm just glancing here, it's now a 4 to 1 shot. It's unbeaten, 2 wins, both at Newmarket, both in novice stakes. And the latest win for Mountain Breeze was over this trip, and it was a smart-looking effort from this daughter of Churchill. I think she'll go well again if, and it's a big if, like most of these, she manages to handle the much quicker ground. In common with other juvenile races at this fixture, so many of the runners in the race are going to improve a lot from their most recent runs, because most of them have only had 1 or 2 starts. Cole Burke's Liberalise created a really good impression when she won on debut at Hamilton recently, and Cole's had another big winner in the juvenile department on Thursday. Wesley Ward's US Raider is Burning Pine, who was very pacey when winning on debut at Keeneland. And given the record of Ward at this meeting, you can't dismiss the chance of this one. While Amy Murphy's Hot Darling, winner of a listed race in France last time on heavy ground, is now 2 from 2 unbeaten, but faces very different conditions. So it'll have to be a really versatile filly if she's going to get involved. And I know there's been quite a lot of money around for Simmering for the Ollie Sangster stable, a very promising third on its debut at York races 4 weeks ago, and it'll have learned plenty from that and isn't out of the reckoning. I'm going to be backing 2 in this race. The longer price runner is available at Out in Front, but still a very nice price is the one I fancy here for you at Sportsbet, and that is the Archie Watson trained Trois Figues, who's the mount of Holly Doyle. I think it's going to run big. The yard does really well with their juveniles, particularly at this meeting, and they suffered an absolutely agonising nose defeat in the Coventry Stakes on Tuesday when their 40-to-1 shot, Electrolyte, was denied by the tiniest of margins. Indeed, I thought they were probably going to call a dead heat. They were wide across the track. An 80-to-1 winner came through there for Brian Meehan. Trois Figues, though, like most in this race, is still something of an unknown quantity, but this daughter of Far Above has shown a lot of ability when she recovered from a stuttering start to come through powerfully to score on her debut at Doncaster just 3 weeks ago. She picked up really well to go clear a furlong out, and then she just ran a little bit green, had a look around at the crowd, posed for the photographers, but she still won with a bit in hand. The 4th horse has already come out and won since to front the form, and I think that Trois Figues will have learned loads from that winning first outing. She's drawn in the centre in stall 13, which is no bad place to be. When I sent my details through to the studio earlier in the day, she was 12-to-1, but there's been money for her across the board. She's now best priced at 8-to-1, and at the time of this recording, that is with William Hill's Bet365, Ladbrokes, and Betway offering 4 places, with the exception of Ladbrokes, who are being stingy, just 3. So Trois Figues is my choice here over at Sportsbet, and I'll be backing one other to go with Trois Figues in the Albany Stakes. And then I'm going to take you to the final race of the day, so bookending the card this time. The 6:15, the Palace of Holyrood House Handicap, good to firm ground, 28 runners. It's a bit of a cavalry charge, 28 3-year-olds only. There's going to be loads of plots involved in this race. The draw could play its part. For the first few days, it looked like centre to high was the place to be, but on Thursday, there were winners coming up the centre, even towards the far side. So interesting to see how it pans out as far as the draw goes. Again, I'm backing 2 in the field in such a big field. The likes of Dorney Lake, Jubilee Walk, Sommelier, Pilgrim, and Got to Love a Grey were all horses that I considered, but in the end, I've narrowed it down to 2 contenders. And here at Sportsbet for you, my selection is Mukafa for Kevin Philippard of Foy and Jim Crowley. And this is a Blue Point colt, and Blue Point, of course, one of the up-and-coming star stallions. And this Mukafa looked as though he might be better than a handicapper when he steamed home, having made all the running over 6 furlongs on his handicap debut at Doncaster just 5 weeks ago. And the truth is, he had the race won a furlong out, so he won't lack for pace here over the stiff 5 furlongs. And while his stamina for 6 furlong is certainly going to come into play, I think that the breakneck speed of this race is going to suit him down to the ground. He's drawn in stall 9, which actually probably isn't a bad draw as things are panning out, according to the way things went on Thursday. And I just got a sneaky suspicion that Mukafa could well turn out to be a group class horse by the end of the season. I think he's going to run very well. He is a 12-to-1 shot. There was a bit of 14s that's gone. He's 12-to-1 now for 6 places, and that is with 888 with Betfair Sportsbook, Bet365, Unibet, and Boyle Sports. So Mukafa, 12-to-1 now, is my second selection for you on Friday, to go with Trois Figues in the opener. I hope they both run well. It's about keeping the faith and playing the long game. And if you do, then I'm quite sure that you'll find out that you'll be finishing ahead at the end of the season or at the end of the calendar year, whichever way you like to do your figures. I'll be back same time tomorrow, wishing you best of luck for Friday. Bye-bye.